Well, today marks a critical day when it comes to CUSMA negotiations from representatives of the United States, Canada, and Mexico. Took place virtually earlier today, and Canada's Trade Minister, Dominic LeBlanc, joins us now from Ottawa. Minister LeBlanc, first of all, what was the tone of that meeting earlier today?
Well, thank you, Ian, and happy Canada Day. The tone of the meeting was very constructive. Frankly, it bore no surprises for us. We started by talking about the World Cup. We talked about the game in Mexico City last night. Ambassador Greer talked about the Americans facing off against Bosnia. So the tone was constructive, but it followed an agreed upon script. As you know, Ian, this meeting was prescribed in the CUSMA treaty itself. It was to happen 6 years from the coming into force date. That's why it was Canada Day 6 years ago when the agreement came into force. It was the first moment for the three parties to consider whether to renew for an additional 16 years the term of the agreement. Canada and Mexico, as we have said publicly, were prepared to renew it for 16 years. We both talked about the sectoral tariffs that the United States has applied in 4 key sectors of our economy that, in our view, aren't in conformity with the agreement. But we talked about the work we can also do with the United States to put North America's economy in a better competitive position. So it was a useful but a non-surprising conversation.
But at the end of the day, what changes given the position of the United States?
So, in fact, Ian, in terms of the remaining in force of the CUSMA agreement, the agreement remains in force, as the Americans acknowledged, for another 10 years. This also was prescribed in the text of the treaty itself. We continue to believe that there is an economic benefit to all 3 countries to bring greater certainty to the free trade arrangement between the North American partners. We continue to believe, as do the Mexicans, that the sectoral tariffs that the United States have applied in steel, automobiles, aluminum, softwood lumber are causing considerable economic discomfort in all 3 countries and having a negative effect on consumer prices in the United States. We made that case to Ambassador Greer, and he committed to continuing to do the work with Canada and Mexico that he thinks is necessary to ensure that the treaty, in the view of President Trump and Ambassador Greer, are meeting the expectations that they set for themselves when they themselves negotiate